The Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, has announced he is resigning from Centibale, the African children's charity he co-founded in 2006 with Prince Seeiso of Lesotho. Prince Harry has stepped down from his charity Centibale, which he co-founded with Prince Seeiso of Lesotho in 2006, after relationships within the organization have broken down beyond repair. The chair of the charity has hit back, however. Harry founded charity Centibale in 2006 with Prince Seeiso of Lesotho to help young people and children in southern Africa, particularly those living with HIV and AIDS. But several trustees have left the organization in a dispute with the chairwoman of the board, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, having requested her resignation. In a joint statement, Harry and Prince Seeiso backed the departing trustees and said they had resigned as patrons until further notice. In a powerful joint statement, the princes declared, "Nearly 20 years ago, we founded Centibale in honor of our mothers. Centibale means forget-me-not in Sesotho, the local language of Lesotho, and it's what we've always promised for the young people we've served through this charity. Today is no different. With heavy hearts, we have resigned from our roles as patrons of the organization until further notice, in support of and solidarity with the Board of Trustees who have had to do the same. It is devastating that the relationship between the charity's trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation," reports the Mirror. Allegedly, disputes emerged around the chair of the charity's board of trustees, with a shift in fundraising focus towards Africa being a point of contention. Dr. Chandauka, a Zimbabwean lawyer who took on the role of chair last year, is said to have resisted calls to resign. It is claimed that she is suing the trustees after they challenged whether she was best placed for the role. This resulted in the charity's trustees to resign, according to reports. The Charity Commission told the Mirror it has been made aware of concerns. Further adding to their statement, Harry and Seeiso said, "These trustees acted in the best interest of the charity in asking the chair to step down, while keeping the well-being of staff in mind." In turn, she sued the charity to remain in this voluntary position, further underscoring the broken relationship. "We thank all the trustees for their service over the years and are truly heartbroken they've had to follow through with this act. What's transpired is unthinkable. We are in shock that we have to do this, but we have a continued responsibility to Centibale's beneficiaries, so we will be sharing all of our concerns with the Charity Commission as to how this came about. Although we may no longer be patrons, we will always be its founders, and we will never forget what this charity is capable of achieving when it is in the right care." Dr. Chandauka responded by appearing to criticize Harry for going to the press and playing the victim card. She said, "Everything I do at Centibale is in pursuit of the integrity of the organization, its mission, and the young people we serve. My actions are guided by the principles of fairness and equitable treatment for all, regardless of social status or financial means. There are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people, and then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct." She also claimed she had reported trustees to the Charity Commission and that the High Court had issued an emergency injunction to prevent her removal. She added, "Beneath all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated to press is the story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynoir, and the cover-up that ensued. I could be anyone. I just happen to be an educated woman who understands that the law will guide and protect me. I will say nothing further on this matter at this time. In a separately issued statement, former trustees Timothy Busha, Mark Dyer, Audrey Kosadintsi, Kalelo Larotholi, and Damian West collectively announced, as a group of British and African trustees, we have made the difficult decision to unanimously resign as board members of Centabale. We are deeply proud to have supported the visionary work of the founding patrons Prince Seeso and Prince Harry, who founded Centabale in memory of their mothers. For 2 decades, Centabale has championed hundreds of thousands of children and young people, providing them with care, training and life skills, which not only benefit each individual child they support but their families and their communities as a whole. Today's decision is nothing short of devastating for all of us, but we see no other path forward as the result of our loss in trust and confidence in the chair of the board. Our priority has always been, and will always be, what's in the best interest of the charity, and it's desperately sad the breakdown in relationship escalated to a lawsuit by the chair against the charity, to block us from voting her out after our request for her resignation was rejected. We could not in good conscience allow Centabale to undertake that legal and financial burden and have been left with no other option but to vacate our positions. This was not a choice willingly made, but rather something we felt forced into in order to look after the charity. Our sincere hope is that with this decision, the road ahead steadies for the sake of our staff and the communities we serve. Centabale is simply too important to us. Prince Harry discovered his passion for charitable work during his transformative 2 months in Lesotho on his gap year when he was 19 in 2004. The experience inspired him to co-found Centabale, and now, years later, the charity has extended its reach to Botswana. He came face to face with AIDS orphans, met other traumatized young people and visited herd boys living a harsh existence looking after cattle in remote mountain areas. Last October marked Prince Harry's first visit to South Africa in 5 years, where he had a heartfelt reunion with Prince Seeso in Lesotho. While reflecting on the work of his Centabale charity, Harry made a compelling plea for change and collaboration. He said in a speech, "We're hitting the targets, not just Centabale but all of the departments are, and it's making a massive difference, and it is this surge of energy and optimism and the voice of young people ranging from 6 to 25 and the biggest difference of which really needs more work, is when people from the top start listening." Harry was also seen beaming alongside Dr. Chandauka at a charity polo match in Florida back in April 2024. Supporting the cause dear to his heart. Centabale said it had not received resignations from either of the royal patrons and said the recalibration of the board is part of Centabale's ambitious transformation agenda. In a statement, a spokesperson said, "We are pleased to confirm the restructuring of our board on the 25th of March 2025 to introduce experts with the capabilities and networks to accelerate Centabale's transformation agenda as announced last year." In April 2024, Centabale signaled its evolution from a development organization focused on addressing the impact of HIV/AIDS on the lives of children and young people in Lesotho and Botswana, to one that is addressing issues of youth health, wealth and climate resilience in southern Africa. Harry's involvement with Centibale was one of the few private patronages he held onto after his royal patronages and honorary military roles were taken away by the late Queen in 2021, following the confirmation of his permanent exit from the working monarchy. The Charity Commission said it was aware of concerns about the governance of Centibale. "We are assessing the issues to determine the appropriate regulatory steps," the Commission said in a statement.